Hello and welcome, Avatar Nerds. Doing another video today. Still gonna be focusing on the tribes down here, this tribal zone. So, yeah, that's still happening. Invasion isn't happening quite yet, but soon. Be patient, my Padawan. Uh, so. See, after this war finished, a bunch of, the tribes are just like, hey, I want to just go and expand and find new land and. So these, pink people find out that there's, a landmass down here. Oh, wrong layer. Found out there's a landmass down here and just like, oh, cool. We will colonize this area. It's very cold, but, very cool. Which, cold, cool. Ha ha ha, it sounds very funny, but cold, cool, So, then you have this, slightly pinker, team. The team. So, they're like, oh, cool, bro, other pink team, I'm gonna come join you and copy your idea by going down here, but, in this land, and that's what they do. So, now they have that, and then, the other team's like, yo, yo, this land also seems cool, it's, cold, but, it's new land. And then, right team's like, nah. We do not like that land, so we will take land. We found land over here. And on this continent, ooh, new land. Newfoundland. Oh my goodness. So, this light yellow team over here is like, oh, you found new land? Okay, yoink, and then it's hard to see contrast the white, but and then take some more. More. So that's happening. So yeah, they're having fun, or are they? Who knows? New lands are being discovered. And they're like, well, there's land to the east of us and land to the south of us. What about land to the west of us? So this, the orange team leads an expedition across the coast and they find land ho. And, the plum team's like, ooh, land? Over here in our eastern direction, that we're so close to. We will also take some of that, please. I'll take one serving of land. So then they take this peninsula area, and they're like, peninsula. So that's happening. And they're like, if there's land to the east of us, land to the south of us, and land to the west of us, is there land north of us? So there's a group of bright green explorers that are going as a unionized or a together effort, and they create a dark. No, I already used that team color. What color? There's not many colors left. It's hard to find another color. Yeah, they're just gonna use one of the colors that we've already had. They're going to be another. No. They're gonna be another black team. So don't take that the wrong way. So they explore this big chunk of land over the time that they're here, and meanwhile, over here in the combustion man's land over here, they're expanding and cutting off the coast, and So the dark team wants like more land over here, but they're kind of cut off from it. And yet, like they're like, oh, let's explore and if we can find like an island or new land here, and they come across this black area, this black land, and like, is there more humans? Like this area isn't documented on like any maps. How are humans here? Like. And like, where are you from? We're from an island down south. Like, there's an island down south. Like, what? Like, what's happening? And they're like, they go out to check this island, and they find like a massive island of like prospering cultures, and like, oh my. And right now they're just they start trading, and this world there's no like diseases or anything like that, so there's no like mass plague, but so like they start trading resources. There's some like plants down here that don't grow anywhere else, but like because this is like such a good knowledge of like it's just like they're not telling the rest of the world because they're like keeping it secret because there's some like things that you can only find there, so they have this exclusive trading partner. And because like knowledge doesn't get around the world that well, they're just like just keeping the knowledge from spreading. And like they're really good at like dictatorship because well combustion bending is very strong, and also like even just like the firebenders are just like they're gonna burn you. So this knowledge actually stays like surprisingly secretive over here, like down here, and like sometimes like it only got to the capital after like months, like, and that was, and just like most people didn't even know of like this, and there's this like political debate of like should we tell the rest of the world or should we keep it for ourselves, and like most of the keep it for ourselves is winning because they're like, oh, we like contact. So you know, I'm gonna change the story that I said. My story was dumb. So they don't tell them about the lands down south. They only know of this land. Like, if I were to like outline the land, or just outline the land and just what they know of, it's like here through here, and then like this area is the land that these guys know about, like kind of like this, and they're just like they don't really know about the islands down here. And then for the island guys like down here, they only really know about like this area. So it's like their founders don't really interact or anything, but like they kind of just like this is the areas that they know about, and just like so, and like the black team kind of just like split off from the rest of the colonies. They're not really in contact with them anymore, so kind of rogue. So that's happening. So like the black team, like yeah, they're no contact. COVID-19 quarantine. No. So that's happening, and so that so the rest of the world kind of knows about some of the tribes, but only like one of them. And they think that they just probably like were like they really think that maybe they're just like some like they're actually a mixed bending race, because like all of these bright green nations like kind of came together, and they're probably like, oh yeah, there's airbenders over here, there's earthbenders over here, we have firebenders over here, and like yeah, the closest waterbenders are like a bit farther away and like over here, but like other than like the waterbenders, like all of them are pretty close, and like you probably like genetically mutated or like some like ancestor, but like they're like it's probably like pretty normal, you know. It just like we just didn't have contact with them for a bit. So yeah, that's what they think. They're wrong, of course, but like, why not? Time for expansion. The Light Green Nation is expanding because they haven't expanded in a while. Excuse me. So, but they find this river, cool. And like, combustion benders like start going around here more and like getting to this area and even touching a bit of this river like this. And then the other blue firebending team goes like this. And then the black team over here kind of is like, hey, they go like this. So fun borders. So yeah, it's just like, honestly, these teams are very stretching. Like, you have this part of the land, this part of the land, this part of land, and also like this part of land, this part of land, this part of land, this part of land, this part of the land, this part of land. And it's just like a lot of enclaves and exclaves, and their structure is kind of like falling apart because they can't exert enough force. But like for the combustion benders, like there's not that many combustion benders because they have like, it's hard to like be a combustion bender without killing yourself. So they're actually like not much enforcement in this region. It's kind of like falling apart. So they're like, oh, screw you, and then they just kind of are like, we split off and do our own thing. So they become this featured yellowish green color. There might be some still like small enclaves like left with the color. And the dark blue team is like, you know what? Also screw you. And they decide to unionize or like make a union together because they feel like they were always like stronger. These people together were always stronger together than compared to like with their home nation. They felt more connected because they lived next to each other. So that happened, and they're just like, people down here are happy about it, people up here are not happy about it. What are they gonna do about it? Wage a war? Yes. But not yet. Spoilers. But now back to the tribes, the tribal network show. Nobody really knows what happened, like, down here, and knew what happened to, like, the explorers from the black tribe. So they're just gonna assume the worst, and, like, there's probably no land. So they're like, okay, let's just expand the land that we know is here. Maybe there's, not a perfect cardinal directions of land. Well, no, and did they know there actually was? But, like, eh. And then the darker gray team's like, hey, I want to pitch in over here, pitch in. And then they go like, Peturunt. So they go through that land, and like, the orange team is also like, ooh, more. Then the pink team is like, hey. And takes this land. And a bit of a conflict breaks out. So they between the green and the olive green again, because same reason last time, the bending versus not bending and all that, and there's like, and the plum team is feeling more confident because they have more land now. So they start attacking on the newly colonized lands to start with. And they take over a big swath of this dark green or dark gray land, but then they're like, hey, we take some of that back. And then the pink team is like also backing up here. They're like, hey. And then the orange team is also like tries to go for attack on the other side of the plum team to give them a new front to open up to like be like haha. And like it is like a bit of chipping away, but so far the results are not that successful because like they take over a big strip over here, isolating the new pink fortress from the dark gray team, and the dark gray team tries to like win back this strip. It's like I don't know, but they only get like small territorial gains and still not connected. And then on the mainland, the bright yellow team tries attacking the plum team, and right now it's mainly the plum team versus like the other olive teams, and they get them a bit by surprise because they're just like focused on the other island. So then the other green teams are like, oh, attack, and then they take this land, and then even this team takes back the land that pink gained from them, and even attacks them a bit while they're distracted on the other lands, a bit of a counterattack. And then the yellow team is like, hey, I want to take this, or no, wait, wrong land, or like, hey, take this land, and even a bit of the orange land, well, they're not looking. So they do that. So they're like, haha, wee, annexation. I don't know why they're like that, but they choose to, you know, they're kind of like that. No. So they're like, oh, take out the land, I take this land. And they just like kind of like gets into a bit of a stalemate, and they're like, okay, let's stop this war. This dispute is going nowhere. And honestly, no one's really winning. Like it's a weird situation. So like, no. So they stop this war for now for mutual benefit of everyone. And life continues. So, like, you know, tension here, but, you know, what can you do? Stop the tension? Nope. So, yeah. And then, yeah, a bit of peace, but the black team, yeah, you know, like, none of the tribes down here is, like, talking to them, and they're just, like, they kind of want to just be like, hey guys, you know, like, we're actually still alive. I don't know if you thought we were dead. So then they go down here, and they like, oh, contact them. Like, oh, still alive, and we found new lands and like new like civilizations that like no one knew about. And they're like, what? And they decide to like share this knowledge with like the rest of the world that there's actually land down here with other tribes. The black team, they're like, there's these like tribes that we came from and like land down south, and they're like, oh, we're shocked, like more land and there are more people that didn't even like come from the same area. And it's just like, what? And it's just like whole news spreads throughout the world like wildfire, like even to like far stretches of the earth. Like it only got there and like it only took like a month, and this is like proto like civilization technology. It's like not that good. They had like people had to like run and as messengers, but like it just like spread like wildfire, and just like there's land down here, and a ship sets sail from the Combustion Bender Nation, like curious about this, and they find this piece of land with the plum team, and like, oh, the legends are true. And then to be continued. Dun dun dun. Like, comment, subscribe, and get 40 subscribers by the new year. New YouTube channel. And guess what? It's partially Avatar related. It's going to be called The Cabbage Man. I'm not telling you what it's about yet, but stay tuned for new episodes. And goodbye, Avatar nerds.
My cabbages!